Pleased to be joined now in studio by somebody who was important to the team last year, but he's becoming increasingly more important to the team by the day, it feels like. Paris Johnson Jr. is here. Paris, thanks for the time, man. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Football's finally
doing
back.
Good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to start with something we were talking about briefly during the break, but you were very vocal that they needed to go out and get Marvin Harrison Jr. On this show, we were talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. for 4 months before they drafted him. How excited should everybody be that MHJ is here now?
Oh, I mean, this is so exciting. I think we should all be happy, that he's in the building.
Yeah.
I think the whole team is excited about him. I think the fans should be excited to see, what happens come season.
I think they are, because I just read that almost all the tickets are gone.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty good sign.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I want to ask you, young guy, you're off season right now. How did you feel about your first season, your rookie year in the NFL, and then looking back on it with a little time and a little space? How are you feeling right now?
Great. I mean, I'm super excited to go into year 2. I feel like last season, as I take time to step away and watch the tape, I'm able to truthfully get out of the week-to-week routine that I was in season, and to be able to really learn from what I did last year, the reps I won, and then also the ones I lost, and how can I clean up the ones that I won and make them more dominant than the ones I lost. Things I could sit back now and be like, wait, why did I do that? Now that I got to take a step back, I can see that the growth week to week to week from beginning to end of the season, which has been helpful.
See, that's really, really cool, I think, Paris, because your confidence level, I would have to imagine, based on what you did last year, the fact that you were a rookie, you came in, you took every snap for the Arizona Cardinals at right tackle, man. You came in here, you took every snap, you had a good, solid rookie year. I would imagine your confidence level's pretty high going into year 2, where you're going to get better.
It is, and honestly, that's just because of the reps. Even to the point today where I was thinking about where I was when I first got drafted, and we're finally going to defense and practice, just in my mind, like, okay, man, I'm out here with the ones, going against the defense. Now it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know my technique. Now I'm just thinking about stance, feet, eyes, hands. I'm just getting back into my routine. I'm not having to think about all the extra stuff at this point during the off season. So I'm excited.
We're talking to Paris Johnson Jr. Paris, I asked this question to Drew Petzing earlier, and he said you need to ask Paris Johnson Jr. that question, so now I'm going to ask you the question. But Jonathan Gannon said this morning that you're switching back over to the left side, and now I know you played that in college. You've done it before. How much of a challenge is that, or is it something that it's kind of like riding a bike because you've already done it?
Again, I think it's kind of a mix of both. It takes time to switch, but at the same time, I've already done it at a high level. I haven't done it at the pro level yet, but I've taken a lot of reps at a high level left tackle. So I think it's just about getting back in that routine, because the techniques and what's right, the fundamentals that we learned here in our offensive line room, it works left or right. It doesn't change at all. Now it's really more about feet, your balance, which foot are you trying to drive off with now? Which foot are you trying to dig in the ground a little bit more now? That's really just the reps.
Yeah. Are you right-handed?
I am.
Okay,
right-handed.
You're right-handed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I've seen a lot of guys who are right-handed playing left tackle and a lot of left-handed guys as well. It's very interesting. What do you feel like you need to do? Paris Johnson Jr., what do you need to do to get better this year? What are you focused on?
For me, I feel like as a left tackle, I feel like it's a pride thing to be able to not lose. Right, like I feel like the best left tackles in the game, they don't lose, and I'm the type of person where I love pass protection. That's my favorite thing in the world, to hear a pass play get called. I love it, but I want to take the same demeanor I have in pass protection in the run game as well. You know what I mean? I want to be seen as a run blocker as well, consistent play after play after play, and I feel like for me that's a huge emphasis going into this season.
Very cool.
We're talking to Paris Johnson Jr. Paris, you talk about pass protection, obviously Kyler Murray. Now, we saw you and Kyler and a few others at the D-backs game last night. We saw you guys at the Oklahoma City-Dallas game about a week or so ago. How did that come about, and just what was that like? It's the off-season, but you guys clearly hang out in the off-season because we're seeing you all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think just the opportunity to be able to hang out with him and him just starting to bring us along with them. You know, like whether we're going to a baseball game, whether we're going to basketball games, or trying to hit a baseball down at OU. On TikTok, he didn't show the video of the ones I actually hit. He just showed the ones I missed. But I think doing stuff like that is awesome, especially as an offense. You know what I mean? So that way, that time you spend away from the facility together, it translates to when you're in the huddle and you're looking each other in the eye and you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about this offense as well. You guys huddle for the most part. You huddle. And now, is there a time and a place for a no huddle? Absolutely. But so much goes on in that huddle, and you just mentioned it, Paris. The accountability and the eye contact that you have in a huddle, man, that to me is something that I loved as a football player. And not only that, you got to remind each other as well. Hey, remember the last time we were in this situation in the red zone, third and obvious pass situation. They brought that strong safety fight, right? I mean, you can actually talk about this stuff. Talk a little bit about the huddle. Do you like being in a huddle? Because I know you also, coming from the college ranks, you were in the no huddle a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think just being in a huddle in the NFL is something that I love. At first, it felt kind of strange. I kind of preferred not being in the huddle, just getting the signal and going.
Yeah.
But after a while, I kind of liked it because, again, you have that time to communicate. And a lot of times communication, it may not be about the look, but it may be like, hey, on this next one, I think we're going to do this, this, and this. Like, let's dig in here. You know what I mean? Just continual, just conversation, just your mindset, how we're going to carry the offense, whether we're backed up and we're waiting, play calls have been called yet. It's just the O-line in the huddle, and we're just talking to each other about how we're going to get out of the situation. I think just stuff like that is important.
Love that.
Paris, there was a lot of new guys here last year. I mean, obviously yourself, the other rookies, free agents, but also like the head coach, the coaching staff, and everything. Expectations outwardly have changed. I think they're higher for you guys. Have you noticed the sense internally with the expectations being any different than they were a year ago?
I have. I think just going into year two, especially, can't really speak on the defense. I'm not really in their meetings, but as far as the second year in the system, I think we're moving a lot faster. Even today in practice, I think, again, there's always going to be things to clean up, whether it's now, whether it's at the end of the season, clean things up every day. But I think the key is that now, year two in the offense, less room for mistakes. People are starting to fly around more, which I think is a good sign early on.
So Marvin Harrison Jr., I know Luke's already asked a little bit something about him, and we can see the tape and we can see what an athlete he is. What about his personality? What is he like as a person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as a person, he's one of the best guys to be around. He's always positive. He's a hard worker, and I think he brings people along to work with him.
Is he funny?
He's kind of quiet.
Is he? Okay, yeah.
I mean, like, he's kind of quiet. I wouldn't say he's going out his way to make a joke.
He's serious.
But at the same time, anytime there is a joke, I mean, he's around to be able to laugh. I will say he always laughs. Like, I'm the kind of the guy that makes a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Whenever on the side, I'm the guy saying something funny.
Paris, what about you? I mean, what do you like to do in your free time? When you walk away, what do you like to do?
Like at home?
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at home. I like to watch a lot of movies. I like to watch a lot of old TV shows. I feel there's not a lot out right now. Everything, I kind of finished up all my shows, so I just watch some reruns.
Are you kind of a homebody? I mean,
I am.
You do.
I love being at home.
I love that, too.
I love being at home, just playing some video games, just watching a movie, just playing on my dog.
Yeah.
Going to Uber Eats, scrolling around.
You're not like, let's go to San Diego this weekend, right?
No. All right. I mean, usually, like, sometimes since we're so close to the West Coast, I'm like, guys, let's go to Tijuana, or guys, let's go to Cabo, or let's go to LA. But then I'm like, nah. but it's fun to have as a topic, though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Talking about the things you could do, but then you'll actually have to go
do
them.
But then as soon as it comes around, so are we leaving tomorrow? Nah. Let's just hop on Madden.
That's amazing.
God, I love
Paris,
that.
this is great, man. Thank you so much.
You're the best, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, man.
Paris Johnson Jr. joining us right there.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.